So let's talk just a little bit about folder structure, and this is general to systems, but it's a little bit more complex on the web, in that there's special things that apply to the web. For example, you don't want to put spaces in anything that's going on the web. Otherwise, it has to put these special characters in percentage. So let's just go to File Manager, and let's set up a good way to get started specifically in a class. So any of your web pages should go in public.html in cPanel. Okay, so if we go into public.html, ideally you would probably create. So if this was a business, you'd have an index, and then you would have folders and subfolders, well organized environment here. For class, that's kind of a different thing. So I would suggest that for a class, you create a folder. So the class specifically that I'm creating this video for is IT 240 at Brigham Young University, Hawaii. So IT 240, it's probably not good to use case on the web. You can, it's just probably not good, because most web servers are Linux, and Linux is case sensitive. So if you haven't set things up, there has been issues in the past. So I created a file. Silly me. Believe it or not, we're all human. So we're going to delete this one. Skip the trash. Delete permanently. And we're going to create a folder. IT 240. So, and in IT 240, we have different things. So I'm going to create a folder for engagements. We have assignments. And we have projects. And I'm even going to create one for the final project. Okay, so being well organized. So if you notice, I didn't put any spaces in, I didn't put any caps in, no special characters. There are some special characters that are allowed, but then you could come here. Now, some of our engagement, so in IT 240 that I teach, engagement is something that you learn, so either in class or online, and you're kind of following along, and it's just really simple. There's an engagement. An assignment takes it a little further, and a project, it says, do it all by yourself. Do something, and it tells you, it gives you this information. And then, of course, we have a final project. So that's kind of why I organized these. They're different, distinct things. Now, sometimes I take engagements, and I would make a copy of them into my assignments, or I just modify it in place. But that's how I would organize it. Now, usually it's not a good idea to leave things around you're not using. If it's for learning, that might be a different case, because who knows when your teacher gets around to grading it, because sometimes we get busy. But it's fine to organize it. And one of the things that I've done in the past is I've actually created a folder, archive, where I put things that I'm not quite yet ready to delete. So I hope that this helps when it comes to the folder and folder structure. I want to cover one more thing first. So if we go in here to engagements, so for example, one of the first assignments I have is a first hosted web page. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to say my first page.html. If you look here, there are file types. HTML, HTML, SHTML. There's lots of ones that you can use, but the internet does matter, because as things are going to try and read it uses that to kind of make decisions, and so you've got to name it correctly. So this is named correctly. Let me show you what wouldn't be named correctly. So these are things that I've seen. My.page. So that my.page, it'll work for many things, but it might not work for all. And it might not work for screen readers and things like that. So Just don't do that. It's just not good. So don't use cases. Don't use capitals. Don't use spaces. Don't use special characters whenever possible. Try and keep names kind of simple. Make sure you name them properly, and something that is meaningful. Okay, thank you.